Hi there, students. This is the last in the series of verbs talking about criticism, how to criticize, rebuke or tell somebody off. Today's words are excoriate, vituperate, objurgate and vilify. Okay, the first word is to excoriate. This really is a medical word, meaning to take the surface of the skin off, to remove or damage the skin. So we can use this to mean to criticize somebody. So imagine you were whipping them, you were flaying them, F-L-A-Y, to flay, taking the skin off somebody. So you are criticizing them as if you were taking off their skin. Notice, to excoriate is quite a formal word, yeah? And you wouldn't use it in informal language. Okay, so it's to criticize somebody or something very strongly, yeah? For example, the French National Front have been excoriated in the press as racist. Okay, so they've been criticised scathingly, criticised harshly, scathingly, yeah. Maybe there was a political debate and the two candidates spent the whole time excoriating each other, insulting and criticising each other. Okay, so the next word is vituperate. Again, a very formal word. Okay, this means to blame somebody or to insult somebody strongly. Okay, so the father vituperated his son for all his faults. He vituperated him for the mistakes that he had made. Okay, so he's criticizing or abusing strongly, yeah, is to use hard language to criticize somebody. The priest vituperated the people for sinning, for doing the wrong thing, yeah. So he's criticizing them strongly. He's blaming them for doing the wrong thing. And as I said again, to vituperate somebody, quite a formal word. Okay, the next word is to objurgate. I think objurgate is probably not quite as strong as excoriate, but it's still quite a strong criticism. To reproach somebody, to berate them, to upbraid them, to talk strongly and maybe a little bit angrily to them. Yeah, I personally don't think it's as strong as upbraid or berate. To objurgate. The teacher objurgated his class for not doing their homework. Okay, so he was angry with them. Okay, now we come to the last word, to vilify. Maybe or maybe not, you know the word a villain. A villain is a bad person. Normally, if you have a film, there is a good person, a hero, and then the opposite, the villain. In Batman, the Joker is the villain. So to vilify is to portray, to show somebody as a villain. Okay? So you criticize them and show that they are a bad person. Notice, when you vilify somebody, maybe what you say is true, and maybe it's not true. Maybe you are slandering them, saying things that are not true about them to make them look like a bad person or a bad character. The Prime Minister was vilified by the newspapers for reducing the health budget. Okay, so they wrote about him in a very strong way. Yeah, they wrote harsh, critical things about him. Notice with vilify, you can say it or you can write it. It's quite common to use to vilify in something that's written. Okay? So, there we go. Excoriate. Take the skin off. Okay? To insult, to criticize strongly. To vituperate. To blame somebody for their bad faults. To rail against them. To objurgate. Okay? To reproach quite strongly. Maybe to upbraid or berate. And finally, to vilify, to portray as a bad person, to show somebody in the light of a villain. And maybe this is true, and maybe it isn't. So, there you go. The last of the series, and a lot of words to think about. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.